Good morning, everybody. I'm just gonna clean my reading up from yesterday when we were talking to James Dean and allow people to come in. Alrighty. Oops, sorry. Good morning. Hello there. Thank you for being here. I be for life. I be for life. Good morning. I'm just gonna clear the field for a second. Good morning. Thank you for being here. We're going to speak to a missing person today. Hopefully we can get a higher perspective. Oh, hello. I was waiting for you to come online. Oh, thank you so much, Emerald Citrine. Good to see you again. I know I'm a little late today, or am I? I don't know. Maybe I'm right on time. Love from New York. Hello. Love from Rhode Island here. I'm just clearing the field while people come in. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you're hitting that like button so people can join us to see if we can get a higher perspective of a linear view of Alexis Ware. I've been getting the name Alexis a lot, and I've known a couple Alexises in my life, but I don't really speak to them. Are you in danger? I don't really speak to them, so I've been waiting for this to unfold, and it finally did, like around Wednesday, and it was very clear. Hello from the UK. Hello there. Good morning. Vagisha Shobi. Good morning. Hello. If you would like to, you can. Whatever feels right for you. You know, I don't want to force anything. Whatever resonates with you, that's what you do. Okay. This was a very interesting communication because I've never, usually when people do magic or like spells or rituals, they do it under the guise of, I'm a white witch and I love and light or whatever. I don't do witchcraft, so I can't, I'm not like in the circles of that. I'm sure there are people that admit to being more like, um, I don't know what word to use, I guess darker or maybe more ignorant about what energy manipulation actually is. And this case happens to deal with that because Alexis Ware admittedly, this young lady admittedly used specifically root work. And outside, yes, she was caught on camera unburying her root work from the yard, and she went to a neighbor's house, and she told the neighbor, she felt like she had to tell the neighbor that she says this on her ring cam, that she does root work, good and bad. And the thing that really stood out to us that she brought to our attention is that Alexis Ware, does have previous lovers or boyfriends that actually passed that could be associated with her doing root work on them. She admitted that she has done root work on past boyfriends and they've passed, and so that means she wished death on them and took action and intention to possibly affect their life. Okay, So that's why we want to talk to her. But before we get into it, my name is Patience. I'm your favorite spirit medium, host of Spirit News podcast on all major platforms. We have all of the links to all of the platforms, whichever one you enjoy listening to. We have Apple, Amazon, iHeart, Spotify. We have all the platforms. If you want whatever one you prefer, they're on the link tree. Please feel free to go to it, follow any of our socials. Hey, novel character. I'm introducing myself. Thank you. Um, um, I am a spirit medium. I'm just now coming into my spiritual abilities. We started this journey 4 or 5 years ago. Through traumatic incidences, my childhood psychic gifts became activated, and I had to, in the midst of chaos, decide whether to succumb to my spiritual abilities and become a victim or empower myself through them and learn how to use them. And my teacher, my one and only teacher, well, not my one and only, but my guidance and my teacher was my spirit team. And I had to trust that, you know, my connection with them never left and it never ended. It was just me that decided not to honor it. And so in the midst of the chaos, I decided to listen to their guidance, and it's been working for me ever since. And they've been helping me every step of the way, and I'm never alone. My ancestors, my loved ones, angels, spirit guides, beings of love and light, ascended masters, God, all of them. They're just, it's been a really, really beautiful expansion, and I couldn't be here without them. I wouldn't be alive. So, I'm so grateful to them. I'm so grateful for you for being here. We use this platform for spiritual development of our spiritual gifts, not for you to show you how to do it, but to show you that it's being done, to give you confidence that you can absolutely 100% develop your own spiritual abilities. We all have spiritual abilities. We all have an electromagnetic field. That is the conduit or the medium in which we pick up on non-physical energy or information, and it's up to us to decipher it. Spirit does not speak in words. They can, but typically it's in visions, emotions, feelings. It's like symbology, and it speaks to the subconscious. Spirit speaks to the subconscious. So, where are you from, ma'am? I'm from Rhode Island. Calm down, Novel. God damn. Can you talk to dead? Okay, can you show us how it's done? I can talk to crossover loved ones. I can talk to interdimensional beings. Anybody can, honestly. Anybody can. You talk to them naturally, just organically in the dream state. That's where they can reach you because you're not getting in the way. You can consciously talk to them by clearing your field. And clearing your field consists of emotional work, working on traumas, working on your emotions, working on your peace, working on understanding yourself so much that no one can tell you who you are. It starts there. And making sure that you're disciplined, sacrificing time, sacrificing your self-control, having self-control, what you put in your body. There's lots of ways the spirit is teaching me to control the way I read energy. You can't control many things, but you can control that, and cycle spirits a cycle, and it's very comforting to know that you can control something that's so beneficial to your development. 1010, as I say that. So our weird our weird food combo you love, there's like a Q&A sticker that just came up and it says weird food combo. So there's something about Alexis being a root worker. She could have put things in her lover's food. She could have did things that were against cosmic law, for sure, against people's free will. She could have infringed on people's free will with energy manipulation, and may have suffered the consequences of that. I'm not sure. She's a missing person to this day. We'll just read some things. So, Alexis Ware is a South Carolina mother of two who has been missing since January 30th, 2022. And we know that a lot of weird things happened in 22. The Idaho 4 happened in 2022. You know what else happened in January 2022? Um, Karen Reed and John. What's his name? Oh no, what the hell is his name? Karen Reed and John O'Keefe happened in January 2022. Also, Aaron Carter, November 2022. So, there are lots of things that happen. Also, you know what happened on 11/22nd? Not 2022, but JFK died on 11/22nd. That was yesterday. So, lots of energetic anomalies. Also, on January 30th, 2022, Ware, then 29, met with her children's father, TJ Patterson, at a 7-Eleven in Anderson, South Carolina for a scheduled child exchange. She handed over their two children. So she actually, what was weird is that she actually asked TJ to watch her other child that's not his. And of course, he said yes because she was exhibiting fear. She was exhibiting paranoia. She was is it true if you miss someone, do they miss you too? I mean, spiritually? Do you do tarot? How long have you been on this platform? What's your niche?
Stay put.
Stay put. Spirit says stay focused. Our niche, I don't know what our niche is. I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to help solve things unseen, to help understand things unknown, to help understand people's emotional states when they do things, to help get a higher perspective of a linear view. That's our niche, I guess. Is it true if you miss someone, do they miss you too? I mean, spiritually. It's not that they don't miss you. It's that they are with you. If anything, what crossover loved ones really wish is that, or they really want or really would like, is to have connection with you, to know, for you to know that they're always there. There's no possible way for them to miss you because they're always there. It's us that miss them in their physicality because we don't understand energy. Once someone's vessel, physical vessel dies, their electromagnetic field, carries on, and they're absolutely 100% able to be contacted, to be talked to be felt, even honestly better and stronger than they were here physically. But because our human mind and our human state are so connected to the physical world, we often associate their physical body as them leaving, and it disconnects us or makes them further for us to receive their energy, to feel their energy. And so it's not that they miss us because they're there. They're always there. They're never not there. It's us that miss them so much to a point where we create a disconnection with them through our believing that we miss them in this way. So, yeah. Stay put. Gotcha, gotcha. I agree, patience. Hello. Hey, did you hear about those autistic kids
Omnipotence.
that communicate telepathically? A spirit said omnipotence. Yes, you're omnipotent once you cross over, just like God. Autistic is to communicate telepathically. I thought that was really interesting. They communicate in some place called the field. Yes, absolutely. I go to the field all the time. Anyone can access the field. The field, to me, comes on like a grid, like an energy grid, and then it looks like Tron kind of. It can look different for everybody. That's just the way that I perceive it through my references. That's the way that what works for me. And anybody can access the field, but it is accessed on a higher dimensional frequency. So in order for you to reach it, you have to you have to empty your cup. You have to clear your baggage that blocks you from entering it.
Irradiation.
Irradiation, Spirit says. Irradiation. God's got you always. Patience, meaning He with you, something I was always told. Gotcha. Are you, Mr. Bad Boy, are you the gotcha person? Because I see what you're doing. Bet it's grips like a corporate handshake. Oh my gosh, seriously. So we want to talk to Alexis Ware. She's been missing. Oh yeah, um so and the plan was for her to follow him to his mother's house. However, according to Patterson, Ware sped away at a red light and never arrived. So she, in the moments leading up to this meeting of her dropping her kids off with her baby daddy, who she was in separation with,
Patrick.
and he was on house arrest. So he didn't do it. His whereabouts are documented through his ankle bracelet. She sped away. In the moments leading up to this meeting, she was exhibiting paranoia, fear. She was warning Patterson, don't get it, he would get into a car accident. She was very afraid of him dying, of him getting into a car accident. And so he was freaked out by her because he realized that she may be going through something that he doesn't have the full spectrum of. And then leading up to that meeting at the 7-Eleven, she refused to drop off his kid to visit. It had been like 2 weeks, and she kept prolonging it, and he said that wasn't like her. So she was exhibiting very strange behavior. We have the ring cam footage of the neighbor that witnessed her taking something out of the ground, which we know with root work. I don't know from experience, I just know from doing these reads and from doing research on the internet that root work was made to be something good, but in the wrong hands, with great power comes great responsibility. You can absolutely, unfortunately, use it negatively. It is a form of energy manipulation that you use with plant roots. So you like bury things in the yard and stuff, and so she was seen on camera unburying something, and speculation is that she may have been trying to unbury something she buried for TJ, as she did with previous boyfriends that ended up being unalived, coincidentally. And so she admitted that she in the ring camera to the neighbor that she's a root worker, and she does good and bad root work. That was her words, not mine. Yes, I am the gotcha. I like you, Patience. Your positive attitude definitely helps you. Oh, I'm happy to be here for you. I'm happy to be here. So her red Honda was found abandoned 2 days later. Now get this. So she met up on January 30th, 2022, dropped her two kids off. 2 days later, death, thank you. 2 days later, on February 2nd, 2022. That's 2222. 2222, you guys. On a rural dirt road in McCormick, South Carolina, approximately 70 miles away from Anderson. Inside the vehicle, authorities found her phone, keys, purse, identification, and a bag of clothing. Law enforcement searches the area, including K9 and air support, yielded no signs of wear or foul play in the immediate vicinity of the vehicle. And she's still missing to this day. So, February 2, and 2 days later, or two kids, 22222. So I want to know what happened. I want to know. I want to try to bring closure. I want to try to have some understanding of her, why she chose root work, why she went the other way with the root work. Like, I have a lot of questions. So, Libra. Spirit said Libra. Spirit said Libra, death, Patrick, irradiation, omnipotence, stay put, cycle, leather worker. Okay. I did get a couple things. So, in TikTok, if you put in a picture, TikTok will put a song to it. So I put on that we were going live with her missing picture, and it gave us the Endless Freestyle by Kevin Yates. And it says, listen to this. This is the spirit of Iboga. This is the spirit of Iboga. And then I was like, well, what the hell is that? So I put in spirit of Iboga. The spirit of Iboga refers to the hallucinogenic and spiritual experience associated with the Iboga plant. And didn't I just say that she's a root worker and she uses plant roots, which is central to the Bwiti spiritual practices of Central Africa. I don't know if it's Bwiti or Biwiti. I'm sorry if I say it wrong. This experience can involve vivid visions and altered perceptions, followed by a period of introspection and reevaluation of one's life. Traditional uses include spiritual ceremonies and rituals, with doses varying from stimulants for alertness to high doses for visionary states. The Tabernath Iboga tree is fundamental to the Bwiti spiritual practices in Central Africa. The root or bark is used in various ceremonies where it can be taken in different doses for different effects. Smaller doses are used as stimulants for alertness during hunting, while higher doses induce dreamlike visionary states with intense hallucinations. So it is a controlled substance. Ibogaine is a controlled substance in many countries, including the United States. Potential risks include cardiovascular issues like long QT syndrome and dangerous interactions with other drugs. The experience can be accompanied by physical side effects such as nausea, vomiting,
Headlights.
and difficulty sleeping, which may linger for days. The initial visionary phase, users often enter an introspective period where they recount life experiences and gain new perspective. So that's very interesting. Okay, so I don't think they comprehend. Listen close, pay attention. What's going on with this? Is this stuck? What's going on? Why won't this scroll? Oh shoot. I don't understand. Why won't this scroll? Okay, let me just, I don't know why this won't scroll. It doesn't want me to read it. There we go. Okay, so it says, the spirit of Iboga, I don't think they comprehend, listen close, pay attention. Cultivated intuition, third eye correlation, meaning foresight. Emilio born, right translated in the vision. He or she lacking comprehension. Let me simplify it. I am gifted. Another language, I'm heavy, meaning heaven sent me. Ain't no authors in my house. That's because I'm a walking altar. Spirits congregate around me. Go through me to talk.
Insert.
Go in the suite, Spirit said, in the suite. Suite as in like a hotel suite. Suite. Oh my gosh. And then when I said that, I got power heavenly protected stepping in that room in the suite. The hell? Spirits congregate around me, go through me to talk to God. I got power heavenly protected stepping in that room. I'm in it. Energy can feel my fingers, Emilio. Emilio in him. Briefly inhaling wherever we in him. Don't wait for this inmate, the pussy precipitate. Precipitate? I don't know why I said it like that. The pussy precipitate. Refresh the page. Yes, I did. Thank you so much. Dang. Listen to this. Phone, but they work in women tend to get dizzy. Protecting my heart and I'm keeping my distance. Invisible roof, I was showing the titties. Bloody interior whip on her period. Color cut clarity, blinging magnificent. And though yet I purchased it, filled it with racks, Houston and Nemitz, and blew me a bag. Genuine with her, but we disattached. I know you want me back. Focused. Not sorry. Not taking you back. I ain't Key Sweat. I ain't making it last. I was built for it all. Evoke my soul again, it's on the floor again. Whip out the bowl and I won't ever put all my trust in my bro or my hoe again. Can't let the left hand know how the right hand type on a BlackBerry phone. I'm on go for real. I had to cut off a few kleptomaniacs. They were shoplifting my energy, started protecting it. They got upset with me, calling me selfish. Ain't trip, I expected it. Got in their feelings and they got on the internet. Tell them what else? Toxic relationship, feelings unhealthy. They was not serving or spiritually helping. Trust in my
Necklace.
necklace. Damn. So I think someone from her past may have came back into her life. Someone who's also could possibly have spiritual correlation. They could possibly have done hallucinogens together, or he could have put something in her food, or she could have gotten ideas about root work from this past person that she was in a toxic relationship for. Someone who wanted to get back with her, someone that would call her selfish because she was trying to protect herself from this person. This
Demonic sigil.
demonic sigil. This person may be, this past person, she may have realized is demonic or has something very toxic about them, very aggressive. Someone that was trying to collect her, someone that taught her how to do some kind of form of spiritual work, or participated in spiritual work together, possibly under hallucinogens, or something was put in her food by this person that she cautiously let back into her life, or mistakenly let back into her life. Then once she
Sticky.
sticky, then once she realized that he was being kind of weird, something about blood, they could have been doing like blood rituals or something with her period blood, you know. She could have put up a boundary after that. Something could have happened to her. Something about maybe period blood and food or something. Patience, ma'am, you said you have memories of spirits connected to you from childhood. Will you please share some memories from where you came to know it was spirits communicating with you? Um, yeah, I could real quick. Um, when I was little, it happened so often, and like just, it was like, no, I didn't know it wasn't normal. Like I didn't know it was spirit. Like it was just reality. It was just like so fluid. It was so easy. It was so loving. It was so kind. It felt safe. It felt, I would see angels. I would see, ghosts. I would see interdimensionals. I would see ancestors, everything, everything and anything. And when I was little, I didn't, it's not that, um, it's not that I had to like realize they were ghosts. It was just I didn't know anything else. And as I got older, when I would talk to other kids or my family, and I'd be like, "Oh, did you see that?" Or "Oh, did you see I was playing with, Vanessa?" Or like, because I'd see little children and play with them. They would look at me. They'd give me that look, like, "What'd you say?" And so I just felt, getting older, that it wasn't normal. It wasn't something that other people experienced. And then I grew up in a family where, my mother would say it's demonic, and that scared me. And so, I didn't want to be considered demonic. What I know now, from talking to my spirit team, is that I chose the wound of persecution. And so when just like witch trials and stuff in the past, it was a version.
Strange behavior.
It was strange behavior. Yeah, it was a version of that, just not like the burning of the witch. It maybe metaphorically, through words and through strange behavior and through rejection. And so I had to overcome that. Being a natural born psychic, I chose to be born with a thinner veil, so I could teach people how to interpret or that it's okay to do it. And so as a child, all of my memories are positive. Any negative energies I encountered, I always had a spirit team that would explain what I was looking at, even if it looked scary. I know in a lot of interdimensionals will be perceived as scary, but that's just our mind trying to understand what we're looking at, and be just because something looks scary doesn't mean that it is. And I never had a negative experience that wasn't induced by my own fear. If I didn't go into a fear state because I assumed what I was looking at was scary, I wouldn't have experienced any fear at all. So that's what I remember. Hope it helps. That may have something to do with Alexis Ware. She may have been exhibiting strange behavior because she was witnessing strange supernatural occurrences because of whatever this person did to her and whatever she did to other people. There is something about her doing darker, possibly like blood rituals with her period blood with this person. I know that sounds gross, and I'm not trying to be gross, but that's what, you know, I guess part of energy manipulation can consist of. Is it right? Do I think you should do it? No, I don't think you should do it. And I think it's dangerous. I think it's irresponsible. I think it's has karmic consequences. And so we're gonna find out what happened. Okay, where should we go? Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for being here with us. We really appreciate all the love and support. We're so grateful to be here sharing energy with you guys. Getting kicked out of my gotchas. Thanks for getting kicked out of my gotchas. Well, thanks for being here. Yeah, so Alexis Ware, thank you so much for contacting me. I'm happy to bring a message forward. I invite you to step into my energy with Archangel Michael. I was also getting that she could be earthbound. She may need help in being released back home because of things that bound her to this earth plane. Hopefully, I'm not 100% how it works, but we may be able to help her let go of the things she did, possibly, so she can go home. Definitely my favorite, and you can always say gotcha back when understanding me. Gotcha. You're obsessed, and it's so funny. Let's get an idea of what's going on. Alexis, tell us about yourself. Let me step into her energy a little bit. She may have had a heightened sex drive because of the root work. She may have been prone to aggression. She may have opted to do root work for abundance. She saw it as a way to receive abundance and romance, possibly. She may have been somebody who may have had an overactive root chakra, so she would have, as I say that, energy red at the top. She may have used energy work as a way to expand herself. She thought it was a good way. She had ambition. She thought it would bring her some kind of expansion. Her philosophy was that if it's root work, it must be healthy or something. There's some kind of distorted belief about the energy of it. What is this distortion? She was very in her masculine energy. She could have been, making that money. You gotta stay on the grind. Yeah, something that she couldn't stop. And another red card. Yeah, she definitely had an overactive root chakra. So, needing a lot of security, using a lot of sexual energy, very aggressive, could have been very argumentative at times, could have been possibly even have like a sex addiction or possibly something about using sexuality or sensuality as a way to get attention, something like that, to bring people towards her. And I also have religion here, so something about her beliefs. Okay. All right. I told you anger. Look at these, all three: anger, energy, stop, all red. Yeah, she thought in growth. Didn't I say expansion? Yeah, she said she thought this was a way um this was a way for her to grow. She thought that all the abundance.
Necklace is a conduit for restless spirits.
Necklace is a conduit for restless spirits. She could have had like an amulet she wore with like dirt in it or something that she thought gave her some kind of power. She thought this was bringing her abundance, and perhaps it was. It could have been bringing her abundance, but also with it could have activated a lot of anger within her. She could have been quick to be aggressive. She's wearing her masculine energy. Determination, yeah, she had a lot of determination to be successful, ideation, but she wasn't really. It's weird. It's like the determination was to get money, but not in like a very specific way. It was like however it comes to her kind of thing, or whoever it comes through, something like that. Or it didn't come through the way she thought, or it didn't work out the way she thought. Protection. She didn't know about protection? She possibly didn't know about protection, protecting herself. There's some kind of disruption. Or there's a disruption with her protection. Rest and pain. Something happened that she didn't know would happen. Something that gave her anxiety. Something that left her unrested. That caused her pain. She wasn't protected because she caused pain. That's why she wasn't protected. But she didn't know that. Or she didn't figure it out till it was too late. Alexis, what was this disruption? We're connecting with Alexis Ware. She's a missing person since 2022. That woman wouldn't look for money in the pan. What woman wouldn't look for money in the pan? No, absolutely. She definitely was about money. You know, she had children. She wanted to make a way for herself. Absolutely. But there's something about the root work. Something about an overactive root chakra. So what I know about that is if it's overactive, you'll be it's for stability, it's for structure, it's for safety. But if it's overactive, you will chase those things. You know, you'll be very in your masculine energy. It'll be more about action than receiving. And so feedback. It'll be more about action than receiving, and it can put you in a very like I don't want to say she was promiscuous, but I will say she could have it could have over sexualized herself, like giving her a distortion that to receive love or stability. This is a subconscious thing that she had to, look very sexy or over sexualize herself so she can receive admiration, some stuff like that. How to know whether I have chakras open? What are the signs and symptoms of awakened chakras? Well, everybody has chakras open. It's whether they're balanced or not. Your chakras are the conduits of energy flow. And so it's not that they're not open, it's that, are they overactive? Are they underactive? Are they blocked? Are they dirty? Those are the things you have to figure out. Those are the things you have to ask your spirit team. You have to go in silence about. You have to specifically ask for their help to bring attention to what chakras need stimulating or balancing. All right. She could have had a very she could have had a lot of wisdom about about the chakras and about, spiritual stuff. What should I read today? Yeah, absolutely. She could have had a great awareness of a lot of spiritual things. And didn't I say something about cooking? But it was in reverse though, but she didn't there's a point in time where she misused it. It may have started off as something that she found very comforting, very stabilizing. It gave her a lot of optimism. It made her feel good to have this connection to root work and to feel like it was something that would help her be positive and bring positive things to her. She could have even had like a gift because I have in the song
Angela.
angelic. She could have started, with a very good grounded idea of wanting to step into this new spiritual ability, okay, to be able to do root work, which you can absolutely do. I've done a lot of research on. I don't do it myself. I don't feel like you have to do it. But if you choose to do it, that's fine. But the thing is that she crossed the line at some point, and so I want to know, like, why, like, why did she do that? Because she has many, I think it was up to 5 previous boyfriends that died. I mean, that's kind of a big coincidence, and it could have been because she
Switchback.
because she wished death on them. And then the last one, there's something about it that made her realize that she shouldn't have done that, and it could have been some kind of supernatural experiences she was having that scared her, that she could have witnessed, that was putting her in a fear state, and she wanted to reverse what she did, and that's why she took whatever she put in the ground out during her last days with us. So there is something about her. I mentioned something about putting something in food. She could have been, that's there's a child here. So that's the thing we're learning, is that about the law of free will, which is a cosmic law. It's a universal law, the law of free will. And it gets infringed all the time because people are ignorant to the way that free will works. And we're no expert, but we're learning as we go. Can you give her full name? Yes, Alexis D. Ware, Ware. Alexis D. Ware, Ware. And so what I'm getting from this is that the thing that where she crossed the line is that she could have been influencing other people through the root. You're welcome, Animal Love Fest. I like your name. Thank you for being here. Poison, yes. She could have infringed on people's free will by putting it in people's food under the under the illusion of, well, it's helping me, I want to help other people. But you can't do that. You can't do it without letting people know. And so if you think you're helping someone but you don't actually ask for their permission, That's infringing on someone's free will. I just like making you laugh and having a good time as you call me the gotcha person. You are so wild. I don't know what this obsession with gotcha is, but I'm definitely catching on to the gotchas. So, I think that's where she realized her protection stopped at that point, where her, possibly even her ancestors or whoever she was working with, spiritually, I mean, was like, you just crossed the line because you can't do that. You can't put things in people's food and to you, you might think, oh, I want to help them. Look, it's helping me, and I have all this abundance, and you know, I want to help people. So let me put it in my kids' food. Let me put it in my baby daddy's food. Let me put it in my boyfriend's food because I want them to have abundance too. But I don't think they would agree with with this religious practice or spiritual practice, so I'll just do it anyway because I know that it'll help them, even though they didn't say that I could. That's infringement. You can't do that on any level. You can't just like the angels say, we can't help you unless you ask for help because we can't break cosmic law. And so the same goes even here at a micro level. Just because you think it's good for somebody doesn't mean that you should make that decision for them. They have to give you permission or decide for themselves. And when you take away people's ability to choose, that's infringement. And it even I've given this example before. It even goes down to the level of a drug dealer. A drug dealer infringes on people's free will all the time by controlling people who are addicted to drugs. People who are addicted to drugs will do a lot of things to get the drugs, and the drug dealer has that power over people and will often wield it and withhold or not make sure the drugs are safe or prolong the delay of getting them. For someone on drugs, that's you know that's their life. And so I'm just using that as like the smallest micro example of how it can turn up. It can even be like helping somebody that didn't ask for help, even cleaning the house. You have a mother who wants to clean things in your house that you never asked her to clean, and she ends up bleaching the tub that's and turns it brown, and you paid $800 to get that tub epoxied, and you never asked her to clean it in the first place. Things like that. Like, it can even happen on the smallest scale. So what she's telling me is that with all the knowledge she gained.
True.
True. Thank you so much. With all the knowledge she gained about root work, there was nothing in any of these books or anything that said anything about cosmic law, that told anyone about cosmic law. And that's the thing that we're revealing light on when it comes to people who practice magic. You go on Reddit. I love to go on Reddit and read all of the witches' posts because they all openly talk about the spells they do, and they all openly talk about how they did it on this person and that person, and to make them obsessed with them, and all these things, and the people don't even know it's being done to them. and and obviously this is some kind of disconnection, some kind of disruption that people don't know about because they're not asking their spirit team they're not asking their divine spirit team before they do these spiritual practices. You want to walk a spiritual road, you want to heal, you want to overcome your trauma and all of your things, you need to invite your spirit team in, because there's things that you don't know about cosmic law, about your cosmic being. You're electromagnetic. You're just having a human experience. And so when you break cosmic law, you're going to have karmic consequences. Absolutely. Absolutely. So my spirit is asking me to jokes on everything. But yes, hope the wild comment was meant to be good. And that's all I mean when I say my phrase, I'm with you and understand. It's how to get over betrayal and trauma. It's different for everybody. It's different for everybody. So that's where she's saying she lost her protection. That's the minute she lost her protection. The minute she decided to put this root work into even her children's food, her lover's food. So it started off good. Spirit said angelic. It started off good with good intentions and that's fine and all, but that's the minute she lost it.
Helen feels confined.
Helen, someone named Helen could be relevant. Doesn't freak me out, Mr. Brad Boy. She may have done it to a lot of people. She may have done it to a lot of people. This magic, under the guise of it being helpful. She could have really truly believed that she was helping people by putting spells on people, by and when I see smoke, you can see the smoke in the background. To me, that's Spirit's way of telling me it's, spiritual work. She could have done this to a lot of people, and it has children on a playground, so it could be referring to her own immaturity about the situation, or more like naivety, just being naive, not really truly understanding from a higher perspective what she was doing. um yeah, even if you want to protect someone, even if your intention is good, it doesn't matter. If you're not asking permission, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your intention is. If you're not asking someone's permission to do it, it doesn't matter. You're still breaking the law of free will. Come back with the ball. Come back with the ball. This may have been a descent for her. Something hmm. Hmm. She started to become closed off from people. She could have started to exhibit a descent in her emotions. She could have started to become um she could have even started to connect with people she let go from the past. Because I do see somebody right here that's whose face isn't
This year's
showing.
railway.
So somebody, she could have been descending, um, exhibiting, possibly arguing, um, possibly a lot of shadow aspects of herself. She could have invited or attracted people that were matching her energy as she was doing this descent. Um, yeah, that's so weird. She was in some kind of illusion. Um, we don't do root work or magic or anything, but what we're learning is that, and there's lots of people's testimonies to this that are converted to Christianity or whatever. Um, People who dabble in spiritual work, when you infringe on people's free will, that automatically opens up like a portal to lower dimensional entities that have access to you now. And what they'll do is they'll come in and they'll pretend to be angelic, or they'll pretend to be like your grandmother or some ancestor, and
Upper bedroom.
upper bedroom. They'll pretend to be somebody you trust or gain your trust by pretending, and they'll treat you like royalty. They'll say, "Oh, you're a chosen one, and you're chosen for this, work," and they'll actually share with you how to do certain rituals and what you need to do to gain abundance, and you'll do it. And I 100% know this is true because I had a best friend who this happened to, and I had to stop being friends with her because she's possessed. She's demonically possessed, but I can't help her anymore. And spirit had to separate me from her because it's a very similar story. I don't know if she was doing root work, but she was definitely doing rituals that whatever entity attached itself to her was telling her to do. And but it's the illusion. It's an illusion because good things can happen to you temporarily, and then something big bad happens to you, like you lose your job, or you become sick, or something like that. Okay, so something like that could have been happening to her. She was in some kind of royalty illusion where she was under the impression or under the idea that she was somehow possibly like chosen, or being told like you're the best root worker in all the land, or whatever they say to you to play on your ego, to make you trust them, so you let them in. Okay, so you let them in. Oh, thank you. And so the minute she decided to do this root work against people against their will, she broke the law of free will, is the minute she became a portal or opened up a gateway to lower entities that tricked her into believing that she could win the singing contest, that she could win the contest, that she was chosen or whatever she thought. So so she continued doing what she was doing.
Bigness.
Bigness. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit said bigness. Yeah. It grew her head big. It played on her ego. That's what it does. That's what they do. They play on your ego. They stroke your ego. They say the things that need to be said so you can trust them. That's what they do. The world is a mess, but now I suffer from work injury, worst luck ever, and all I've ever done is support my family and friends. It's easy to give up now that I'm in my 40s. I don't know. Maybe you're thinking too much about how it is instead of thinking about how you want it to be. Spirit tells us that you can think about how it is all day, and what will happen is that you'll continue getting the way it is over and over again. You need to put more focus on your thoughts of how you want it to be. And once you practice doing that and you teach yourself how to do that, then your experience will start to match your thoughts. So, all right. What else? In the following series, which can be evenly divided by 2? All of them. 2 again. In the case of 7, it can be evenly divided into 2 parts, each being 3.5. 2.
Battery.
Oh, battery. And Spirit said I did a random X-Men generator character, and it gave me Rogue. And Rogue is has the power of life force absorption. She can drain the life energy from living organic beings, which can cause unconsciousness, a coma, or even death if contact is prolonged. Power absorption. She temporarily gains the powers of other mutants or superpowered individuals she touches. Memory and personality absorption. She absorbs the memories and personality traits of her victims, which can sometimes overwhelm her own psyche, causing psychological distress. So I wonder if she learned some kind of ritual from this entity that attached to her when she broke the law of free will through this root work that taught her how to absorb other people's power. And this, it could have been sexually, like
Saucer.
through sex. Spirit said saucer. Charlie Chromodome went for a walk without an umbrella. He did not wear a hat and he did not take refuge under shelter, yet not one hair on his head got wet. How was this possible? It wasn't raining. Through this ritual, she learned, through this entity that attached itself to her, she could have absorbed too many people's things. It could have affected her psyche. It could have opened her up too much, and it could have caused distress for her. It could have opened up her crown chakra too much, and she started seeing things and hearing things. Umbrella is another symbolic reference to spiritual abilities, like opening the umbrella. She could have possibly opened up some kind of portal or ritual that had her too open, and so she didn't. It it kind of reminds me of when I started my mediumship, and during my time of chaos, my traumatic incident where I was trying to harness or control my mediumship, and there was a point in time where had so much information coming in, but luckily I had the help of my spirit team. She did not. She had an entity that wanted her to crash out. But I remember that when all the information started flowing in, I could see many different timelines, and it was hard for me to know which timeline was past, present, or future. And so I was applying the timelines to my own experiences when really they could have, it was the grid. It could have been about anything. It could even have been alternate timelines that
In the
aren't
dark.
in the dark. Thank you. That I didn't know about, that I'm not currently living. And so that could have been happening to her. And from the outside, what it looks like is psychosis. It looks like psychosis. But really what's happening is you're you're watching, or you're witnessing, or you're experiencing many different timelines, through about people that you're close to, but it might not be happening
Nelson.
on the timeline that you're on. Spirit said Nelson. And so that could have been happening to her. And on the outside, it looks like, she's very paranoid, and she's going off about all these. She's scared about TJ, getting into car accidents, because she is getting visions. But she's also getting hauntings. She was basically tricked to do this ritual, by this entity that boosted her ego, because she thought that this ritual was going to get her some kind of notoriety or influence. She could have been trying to be some kind of influencer, but it was a lie. It was really to open her as a portal. It was really to open her up to be an open vessel for anything and everything to come in and out of her. So once she realized that, there is a point in time where she realized that. Can we speak about that? What was the time where you started to realize that you may have been tricked? What's the time when you realized that you may have been tricked and you wanted to reverse it? Because she did try to unbury the root work for TJ. She that's shown on camera. Wake up! It's wake up! Something woke her up. Something may have. What was it though? Something about flowers. She may have started to realize a lot of things in her life were dying, possibly even like literally flowers. She could have been someone who liked fresh flowers in her house, and she'd get fresh flowers and the next day they'd be dead, or she'd have like flies in the house. She noticed like a lot of rot in her life. Things were rotting, which is often a sign of backfiring magic, when things are starting to become rotten, or you're getting like infestations or a lot of bad luck or things like that. Such a curious dream, grounding, returning to reality, coming home. I told you, yeah, she started to put two and two together when she noticed a lot of things falling apart for her. That's when she started to realize that the spells and stuff she was doing on people, on a lot of people, those people could have started walking away from her or started treating her different. Um, she could have started having infestations. She could have started having like weird things happen in her house, possibly even like shadow people following her. Her being scared. I think that's when she started to start getting grounded and start, coming to terms with, she may have made a mistake. Mortality. I think that's when she realized that her actions were catching up to her because she had wished death on people that she past people that actually died. Life is brief, bright, beautiful, and yours to live. And her mortality started to come into play, and she started to realize that, she's was being lied to. Whatever was gassing her up was, tricking her. And she started to become aware that she was possibly going to pass away. I think she knew she was going to die. Don't do things that are toxic for you. Yeah, do not drink the poison. Do not do things you know are bad for you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and promises that never came to be, empty words, not living in the now. Yeah, that's what happened. She started to realize that, all the people's food she poisoned, all the things she did, it wasn't in power, it was in toxicity. She was the one who was toxic. She was the one who was starting to descend in her emotions, in her behavior, in her actions. She was starting to become a darker person. She was starting to realize this. Painting the roses red. Yeah, she couldn't deny it anymore. She may have gotten that's the thing with energy manipulation. You might receive abundance, for a short period of time, but then it's at the sacrifice of other things, and you'll start to notice things start falling apart, and the fruits of your labor will start to become apparent because energy never lies. She could have had a lot of things starting to fall apart, impossible things, working through disbelief, imaginative leaps, and fresh perspective. Yeah. Yeah, it's time to talk sense. Yeah, believe strange encounters because she started to see things that were not divine. She started to experience things that were not divine. The divine is, if you're in contact with the divine, everything's going to be loving, unconditional love. You're never going to be in fear. You're always going to find everything's going to be a miracle. Everything's going to feel like unconditional love. When you have a negative energy attachment, it's going to try to put you in fear. It's going to scare you. It's gonna turn people against you. It's gonna, oh, thank you so much, Aurora. Thank you for the gift. It's gonna give you thoughts that are negative. It's gonna tell you in your ear that this person's against you and that person's against you. It's gonna play on your fears. That's what it does. And so that's the difference. That's how you know. And then the fruit, and then the. Hey, honey. Hey, honey. I'm almost done, okay?
Mommy,
Yeah.
can we have that food?
No, not yet. I'm almost done. I'm gonna be up in a minute, okay? And then you can use it. Go pee pee if you gotta go.
Can I eat a snack?
I'll make you something. You want some toast and eggs? Okay, I'll be up in 5 minutes. I'm gonna be done.
My chicken, the safe one from the dog.
Okay, I love you. That's my son. Um, yeah, and she realized she forgot who she was. She was starting to Spirit said you will not. Yeah. She was starting to not remember who she was. She was starting to have memory lapses, and that's because of backfiring spell work. She could have possibly done spell work on somebody that you can't do spell work on. There's people the person you do spell work on has to match the energy. So when you start wishing death upon people that don't deserve it, then that's going to backfire and it's going to start to show up in your life. And so that's what started to happen. Um, is there any clues you can give us for where they could find you? Um, I know that she walked out of her car and then, never came back. So, is there any
Gerald.
way we can figure that out? I'll do, I don't know if this will work, but I'll try. Uh, no, I don't know. I don't know how to find that out. So, she definitely, she definitely started to lose her memory. She realized she was losing her mind. Once she started having these dark experiences, then she put two and two together, and she tried to undo the last one. She thought by unburying the last person, her last boyfriend TJ, out of the dirt would save her, but it was too late by then. It was too late by then. She had already exchanged so much energy with this dark entity and done so many things against people's free will that it was just too late. Yeah, she knew that that she had to drop her kids off. She did what she could do in the last minutes of her life, that she didn't want her kids to be around for whatever was going to happen to her. She knew that she had to be brave because she needed courage because she brought this upon herself. She knows very well about spirituality. She does. She might not have known the laws of free will and the cosmic law, but she did a lot of studying. And so she eventually put two and two together and realized that it's time for her to be courageous because she did this to herself. She knew that. That's why she dropped her kids off. Love. Because she lacked love for herself. She was searching outside of herself for acclaim, for notoriety, for abundance. She put all of her power into something outside of herself to bring her abundance instead of trusting in herself. Because she realizes that from the beginning she had a low self worth. Divine source is the idea that no person, place,
He's
or thing
lost.
is your salvation, only love itself. Yeah. And so she knew that she's an old soul. Yeah, she may have had past life where she did root work, where she was really drawn to it. Walk through life with confidence and grace. You have power from beyond the world. Focus on what you really want. You can create your dreams. Yeah, instead of, focusing on doing the work herself, she relied on the root work to do it for her. And in doing that, you're not believing that you're a spark of God that's capable of doing anything. That's the thing about magic, about any kind of magic. You don't actually need magic to create miracles. You are the miracle. Your belief in
The
that
whispering ghost.
your belief in that you're a spark of God, and so you have the capability to do whatever it is you want to do, as long as you do it with love, with a good intention, that you don't hurt people, that you're not using, your intentions are pure, and to always ask for help. So she's definitely acknowledging that this is something that is going to be learned for her next incarnation. She has done this before in many past lifetimes, which we all have. At some point, we come to a life where we decide not to do it. An opportunity to forgive. She really wants to ask for those people's forgiveness that she left behind, that she infringed on their free will. The situation brought her many opportunities, but the thing that she didn't realize is
Repetitive motions.
repetitive motions. The things she didn't realize is that it may have brought her opportunities, but she was still blind to healing and growing and releasing negative patterns from the past. Her intentions didn't match divine love, and so she brought into her life what her intentions are. She matched her own intentions, and this is so interesting because we've never read an actual witch before.
The afternoon.
We never talked to a witch before. So it's interesting what she's telling us. Opportunity to forgive. You know, she put a lot of spell work on past people that hurt her, and so hurt people hurt people. She thought that by doing what they did to her, you know, well, they hurt me, so I'm going to hurt them. And she wished death upon people. And that's just not something that matches divine energy. Divine energy doesn't want people to die unnecessarily. Divine energy doesn't want violence on people. Divine energy has no hatred, it's pure positive energy. And so when you're creating energy or manipulating energy in that, then you're going to bring what matches you. And that's exactly what happened. Um, this is a witch who started off good, but then because of her inability to release negative patterns of low self-worth, she infringed gruesome. She infringed on people's free will and did magic on people against their knowing, and she caused harm. And so she opened herself up to be a portal to energy that matched that. And she didn't realize until it was too late that she couldn't change it. And she knew that she was going to die because of it, because that's what she wished upon so many people. Damn. But the opportunity to forgive, she needs forgiveness to be released. Because she's earthbound right now. She needs to forgive herself, really. She's in a place of where she can't seem to forgive herself, and that's often like one of the many things that will leave you to be earthbound or to experience hell, is through your inability to let go, to forgive yourself for things you've done. So she's definitely in that energy. Emergence in reverse, yeah, she's not she's not ready yet to kind of let go of that. um what could spirit enlighten us about this? What could she do to let go at some point? It's not something that we can choose for her. She has to choose it for herself, to let go, to forgive herself of things she's done. She might not be ready for that yet. Ripples of love in reverse, yeah. Your love creates ripples that touch others, spreading healing and deepening connections. Trust that your love is making a powerful impact. Love's impact, soul connection, healing, resonance. Yeah. It might have to do with her children. Her children might have to break a generational curse of doing root work and using it against people's free will, or just it could be emotional generational curses of, having too active of a root chakra and using your sexuality as a way to receive love, or something like that. They may have to, in her children breaking those curses, that will leave a ripple of love that will help to release her. So we'll send love out for that. I hope that her children can forgive her for what she did and not repeat the patterns. Okay.
Spirit box.
Spirit box, yeah. Serenity within. Find serenity within yourself. It is the unshakable foundation for facing life's challenges. Peace, calm, and inner stability. Absolutely. All right. Well, I hope that this gave some closure to some people. I hope it educated some people about energy work and about the law of free will. We had a lot of awesome spirit nuggets. Thank you so much for being with us. We love you so much. We'll be here. We are here every weekend for you guys. We do a celebrity read, and we try to do a true crime read, or FBI's Most Wanted, or Missing, like whatever we can do to help with our abilities. We're here to be of service, and we're so grateful for all the love and support. We thank you so much for being here with us. We love you. Good morning, Scobie, and thank you so much. We'll see you next weekend. Bye.